There's a quote that I remember from Mo Salah's post-match after we won the league, right? And it was all about, and this is what fascinated me, right? How he wanted to do it on his own, how he wanted to be that guy. He knew that Jurgen would always be one of those names that was associated with his. He knew that that great team would always be kind of hung over him when people spoke about the Premier League title and how good Liverpool were as a side. And you know what? Fair enough. Like, they're a great team. They're probably an all-time Premier League side, one of, not the. And he said, I wanted to win it without those guys. I wanted to prove that I was that guy. I wanted to prove that I could do this. And not only has he put in an all-time season, but now he is the Football Writer Awards Player of the Year. And I think broadly, when I'm looking at the way that Mo Salah played this season, yes, there are some tropes of Mo Salah. Yes, there is this old idea that he dropped off at some point. But he's not, I mean, with all due respect to everyone else, he's not needed to be that prolific player for the whole season. And yes, there are moments where you could say, is he Ballon d'Or worthy? Probably not, compared to a couple of the other front runners and riders, right? But he's certainly been the best player in England this year. And that is reflected, and I think this is the bigger message here, especially from Liverpool and Mo, in 90% of the votes going to Mo Salah. Now, obviously, not only was he helped there by Liverpool and the great side and Slot and years of building, this is a cumulative thing, as most things that Liverpool have been over the years. This guy's won it before. He's been great before. He's not just had some standout season and then obviously nothing else. But Virgil van Dijk came in second. Now, that's got to make you think, you know, Liverpool, first of all, probably don't get the credit they deserve for winning the Premier League this season, for how prolific they really have been, for how consistent they really have been, for how they've overcome what were challenges in previous seasons to build a solid Premier League title and get the second title that endorses Salah, Van Dijk, you know, even Trent, Alisson, as some of the greatest of all time. These guys can now compete with the other people in the Premier League who had more than one, who said, oh, well, it was just chance, you know, even though that previous one, by the way, was not just chance. Everyone else was absolutely blown out the water by Liverpool. Liverpool haven't blown people out the water this time, but they certainly have performed in a way that they needed to and ahead of everyone else. And not only that, but they've done it in a prolific way. Mo Salah has been genuinely generational. He's put in probably the best statistical Premier League season of all time. And that's probably why I only want to see him sort of performing and getting performed towards by those Liverpool players. I want everyone funneling the ball towards Mo Salah on Sunday, on every other weekend after this, to try to help him to get these prolific numbers as high as possible. Because it's a genuinely, and I'm just going to change hands, it's a genuinely huge thing that Mo Salah's done this season. The prolific nature of the way that he's performed is... It's gone under the radar because Liverpool have been that good, because other teams have been that bad, because everyone's been trying to find a different narrative to just Liverpool and Mo Salah have been good. And he's been genuinely fantastic, to the point where it's hard to think of a goal that you love most of Mo's this season. It's hard to think of an assist that you love most of Mo's. You can think of kind of, and this is kind of what makes him one of the greats, you can think of the great broad things that he does, the brilliant, like, outside of the boot, the... like tripping other players up as he goes because he's just getting so close to them. The brilliance in just scoring vital goals for Liverpool and taking teams kind of feet away from them. The brilliant leadership that he's done out on the field. But not only that, the great relationship that he's generated with Liverpool fans, even more so in that time, in a season where he's not signed that new contract, in a season where things feel like they're hanging over his head, in a season where he's used that to motivate the rest of the team. That's almost Michael Jordan-esque at this point. And there are very few players who can kind of sit in that pantheon, but he sits in the pantheon of some of the greatest players of all time. Not only that, but I think Mo has shown down the years that he is not only a great player, but a great symbol and figure within the team. Figure within the team, first of all, because he's part of that leadership group. He leads by example. He doesn't need to walk into the dressing room and say things. He leads by scoring goals, by hooking up with the other players, by being a great out option, by improving his game week in, week out, because Mo Salah has done that, by the way, very consistently week in, week out, improved his game, his back to goal stuff, his front to goal stuff, all this kind of, I hope you can hear me over this point. All of that has massively improved in the time that Mo has been just improving and getting better throughout this season. And not only that, but he's made the other players around him better. When Darwin Núñez has been good, Mo Salah's been good. When Trent's been good, Mo's been good. When Gravenberch has been good, everyone has been fantastic. That outball has always been there for people like Virgil van Dijk. That prolific goal-scoring record has dragged Liverpool through this title week after week after week. And, you know, obviously a lot of people are going, well, he's had that good season. He's good now. You know, he's sort of, you know, that's lucky. Other people, if Klopp was still here, would be talking about how good Mo Salah has been because of Jurgen Klopp's system. They don't talk about how good he's been because of Slot's system. And they should be. Frankly, like, I know a lot of people talk about individual awards and they talk about the individual brilliance of Mo Salah. He's enabled to do that by the way that the Premier League plays, by the way that Liverpool play, by the way that Liverpool clear out the penalty area and push tactically towards his strengths. Slot has lent into those. He's made Liverpool a better side by saying, we have a prolific player here, our system is brilliant, let's funnel it out towards these wings and maximise what we have. It's partially why Liverpool have signed a new contract with Mo Salah. It's partially why Liverpool are looking for another winger to kind of mirror that brilliance on the other side and also through the middle. They need someone who's mentally as strong as Mo. When other people are doubting themselves, Mo has been there. When other people are quibbling over, stupid things on the field, Mo is out there being prolific. It's that simple. And you need these kind of players. And I think it's worth contextualizing that in how brilliant he's been in this time. Not only is he a player who was doubted in the Premier League and had to leave Chelsea, not in a disgrace way, but in a way where it was like, well, off he goes. Like, will we ever miss him? Probably not. Is it a captured opportunity? Absolutely. But, when he came back to the Premier League, it was like, well, he'll get 10 goals, maybe a couple of assists, and that's all you're going to get from Mo. And those were famous quotes at the time. Those were like, oh, this is Liverpool shopping in that bargain basement. This is Liverpool not particularly aspiring to do anything. And now what we're aspiring to do is find another player who can even be half as good as Mo Salah in this time. Because some of the players who've come in and been out on the wing have not been half as good as Mo Salah in this time. That's not a dig at anyone, but it is an evaluation of where Liverpool are at and where why we got him signed onto a new contract. His motivation, his context when he entered the league, and then the levels he went to so quickly are an inspiration to people. But also what he's addressed whilst he's been this figurehead, the Islamophobic crimes that have gone on in Liverpool and the surrounding area in this time have massively decreased. What he represents. In the same way, very similar actually to Thierry Henry, he represents this era of the Premier League, a guy who's moved towards these prolific numbers, but has still embodied something and been a symbol in the Premier League. That's what Thierry Henry was back then. That's what Ronaldo was to Manchester United. That's what all these people have been to these teams. They've been symbols of brilliance in this era, and it's very difficult to look beyond them in this time. No one else has really represented that. He's eclipsed Eden Hazard. He's eclipsed all these other people. Maybe not in terms of the, creative play that those people have brought to the side, but in terms of his impact on the team, absolutely, yeah. And his relationship with the fans is no less because he wasn't Eden Hazard or Thierry Henry or any of these people. If anything, it's more. He's represented an industrious, honest, hardworking, religious approach to football, which Liverpool fans can appreciate. There is a big religious element to being in Liverpool, to being a Liverpool fan. And there has been respect, which has crossed over boundaries and cultures in this time to, I guess, enable that. And it's not me saying, oh, globalism works, guys. Everyone just respect everyone from everywhere. That's not what I'm saying here. I'm not talking about the wokeism kind of blind idea of sharing cultures, which ultimately just makes them all homogenous. I'm talking about a very specific idea of being human. And Mo Salah is exactly that. And he's made the other people around him better through being human, through being accessible, but through being an icon at the same time. And you see it when he celebrates in front of the Kop. I love watching him celebrate in front of the Kop. And it's kind of this moment of, I appreciate you and you appreciate me. Can I get this anywhere else? No. Would I have gone for the money? Possibly so. But I'm an icon. He is an icon at Liverpool. And that's what we love about him. He's made us historic in what he's achieved here. He's been that historic player that Liverpool love, that we need, that has fought through hard times, that has fought through doubt, that has fought through all the things that Chelsea, Manchester United, all those people cannot acquire in just having transfers. So whilst we're busy kind of, negating Mo Salah's achievements in this era because, he's not as good as this or that, believe me, for Liverpool, he's every bit as good as any of your guys. He's every bit as brilliant, and his relationship is every bit as meaningful to us as your Thierry Henry is, as your Eden Hazard is, as your Ronaldo is. It doesn't matter if you believe it. It matters that in the moment he delivered, and he delivers in the moment. 2018, again he won it. Again he won it in between now and then to be acknowledged as the best. And the twice and the Premier League title that we won, that's important. These are us cementing legacies. And broadly, what it's also doing is showing Liverpool is a club which enables brilliant players to play. They don't have to bend down and kiss the ring. They don't have to, be a Los Blancos or whatever it is. They don't have to be a Galactico. They have to be a Liverpool player. And we'll get the best out of you. And that is brilliant going into this summer, because all it will show other players is, come here and be prolific in your position, and you will be an all-timer. Mo Salah is our recruitment process. He is the symbol of what you can be at Liverpool. And that's what makes me so confident about moving forward. You talk about big players leaving. What about the big players that stayed? He should be rewarded for that. Appreciate you guys watching the video. There's a Patreon down there if you want to hit it. There is also a link to the... What else is there? Oh, the Discord. And if you want to leave a super chat, then you're more than welcome to. I appreciate you watching the video, and I'll chat to you in a while. Much love.